You can't beat this as an office. I'm Mitch Hunt, equipment manager at Traverse City Country Club, and this is my story. I started racing motocross when I was 5 years old. My dad got me a mini bike, and then I met my best friend that I raced with. He's like, "What? We should start racing." It just grew from there. Stopped racing in 2019. That's 45 years of racing motocross. The racing level is what trickles into every other industry. Been salmon fishing since I was 13, fly fishing for salmon. Started on the Pure Marquette, now I'm over on the Betsy. We have a group of guys that we get together every year and do it. The only thing bad about learning that is that you have to tie fly fish for all your buddies now. My real mentor in life was my high school shop teacher, Mr. Yelk. He taught me stuff that I apply to this day, when I was 14, 15 years old. After high school, I worked on a grounds crew at a college, and I did a little mechanical work there too. And then ended up moving up here. I was from Livonia originally. A buddy of mine was saying, hey, are you interested in becoming a marine dealer? Did that for 20 years, sold off the business, the building, and retired. And my wife and best friend thought it would be a good idea for me to get a job. Ended up here. One of my jobs here is making sure the fairways are perfect, including the greens and tee boxes. That's one thing I'm really in depth into is reel theory. Is it cutting it clean? Is it missing? Are we going too fast? Are we beating it too much? The reel spinning too fast? That all factors into having a superior cut for sure. It's got a specific ring to it when it cuts a piece of paper correctly. When it comes to education and trying to figure something out, Steve was 100% on board with that.
Today, what we got to see first is my name in big print, right, Mitch? Mitch's strong suits are the details in the reels, the bearings, the cut. Really, he has advanced the profession for equipment managers in Michigan. I've been at Traverse City 28 years and in the industry almost 40, but what he's taught me about reels and cut tolerances and the differences has really been mind-blowing the last 3 years. I think without an equipment manager at any golf course operation, you're just sunk from the beginning. If Mitch is leaving, I'm leaving. It's the same thing with my assistant, Dan and Scott. These three guys are my team.
He gave me everything I needed to do my job correctly. Education, equipment. I'll set the speed with my phone. I'll put it on 24 frames per second. You can see the lines moving one direction, right? You want it moving forward just a smidge, like that. I love that I can be working on something. I throw it up on my computer, that spacer's before the washer, just to make sure everything goes together correct. And this is one thing that I brought into the industry is a parts washer. We found one on the market that's big enough to set the whole reel in. This is the magic cabinet. Anything I use on a daily basis or stock is right here. I get calls from superintendents all the time saying, I can't find an equipment manager. And it's become a big problem in the industry for sure.
I think one of the big things that draw the guys in is the ability to really manage and own their own shop.
Yeah, not working on someone else's problem is nice. When you put your signature on something and you do stuff correctly, it just makes your job so much easier. Most of the time, everything was so competitive. When you found something, that's how you made your bread and butter. Where here, it's an open book. There's so many places to turn to for help. There's a lot of great guys out there that have helped me. Ben Beard, I could call him anytime if I have a question. Seth at Oakland Hills. There's so many people out there that'll help you, unlike anything I've ever had in my life. My wife, Mickey, she goes, before you were just miserable, you worked all the time. There was so much stress. You get to spend time with the grandkids. My ma, I talk to her on a daily basis, and she supported me through everything. She didn't like I raced motocross, but she was still supportive. Last year, I got a phone call from Ben Beard, which was the equipment manager liaison to the board for the Michigan GCSA. So we put on our first 24-hour conference last year, and I think we had 75 equipment managers in Michigan come to it. We're going to continue the trend again this year. At first, I thought that was like my number one focus would be getting free education, but actually I learned very quickly the biggest thing is networking. Getting that group of guys together is everything. Once you get that group of guys together, you just learn from sitting at the bar and having a beer with somebody. Sometimes a lot more than you sit in an 8-hour class and learn. Whatever I was given in this short period of time and learned, I want to give back to everybody that's in the same position I'm in.